It's great. It's great to be back home. It's a great state of Texas. I love it. You know, I mean, I don't know. I enjoy it. I enjoy coming home. It's nice because, your family and friends get a chance to see you play rather when you're on the East Coast. And, you don't know a lot of people out there, even though I was born in Virginia. So I do have some family over there. But, yeah, I love playing in Texas.
So you are going to have friends and family coming to the game then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My dad, my stepmom, girlfriend, her sister, and a couple friends, so a good amount.
Cool. So as a linebacker, you look at Louisiana Tech. They throw the ball all over the place, but they can run too. A running back has 1,000 yards, so it puts a lot of pressure on you, especially being inside. You got to read that. You got to see how do you approach the game. How do you what do you recognize in Louisiana Tech that puts challenges you?
Like you said, they can pass the ball. They're great receivers, and their running back's good too. He probably hasn't gotten a lot of recognition he deserves because of the receivers and their passing game, but they can run just as well as they can pass. They average 150 on the ground along with 350 in the air, so it's not like they're just not running the ball, and a lot of people don't see that. So for me, you just got to read your keys, read your guards, and just try to tackle them. No missed tackles, no yards after carry or contact. And try to limit their big plays because they're a big play offense, and we got to limit their big plays to slow down the momentum and keep the momentum in our hands.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Coach was mentioning something to the fact that we were talking about, obviously, a tough way to end the season, and then it was kind of 2 weeks, not much of a turnaround. But then you had finals, so really no time to think about it, and then obviously right into this. So I guess how did that help you kind of look past the way the season ended and to get you where you are right now?
You got to treat every week of preparation like you won, like you lost, anything. The no break, we don't get that at the Naval Academy, so it's almost like we're used to it. We're used to the constant grind. So it helps. When you have finals right after you don't have time to pout. You got to get right to get your grades good. So, it helped, and we want to get our 10th win. The season didn't end how we wanted, but we still have a chance to win 10 games, and a lot of teams can't say that 2 years in a row.
Thanks, Micah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Just looking back at your career, first of all, you're second all-time in receiving yardage. Most people would not think that would happen in an option offense. So when you look back at the numbers now, you're near the end, you're pretty amazed?
Yes, it's crazy. It's a big blessing that I've been able to do what I've been able to do. I've loved and hated the career here. It's all worth it. The ups and downs and challenges I faced, to get here. Looking back, everything's worth it. Every touch in the line, every hash, every extra ball caught, was worth it. So it's just a blessing I'm here. And, I'm just glad I can, look back when I'm older, be like, hey, son, Daddy used to be good back in the day. So it's great. I love it, and I'm just blessed.
Does it make you proud that your name is on these lists? I think you're 8th in receiving in total catches. You have the most receptions in a single season of anyone during the triple option era. These numbers that put you in the Navy record book, does that make you proud?
Yeah, it does make me proud. I think the biggest thing that I enjoy is that, I making my family proud. I wear the number 4 because I have my mom, my dad, my brother and sister. That's great. Ever since I was in elementary school and middle school and high school, I just wanted to bring, good things to my family name. It feels good when you can do these great things and, have that Tillman, on there. And it's just not me, I have 2 younger siblings, hey, CJ, you're a junior in high school now, you can do the things. I took the path less traveled and still was able to accomplish great things. And, with a great support system like I have, my family's awesome, I got friends, my whole friends, you can do anything. So it's not just a testament of what I did, it's a testament of the whole, community that was backing me.
Is your little brother a pretty good football player?
Yeah, he but he's good. He's really good.
Is he getting recruited?
So he got injured, and then it set him back. So this year he kind of played a reserve role. He got a couple touchdowns, but Bishop Gorman's just such a great
strong program. Yeah.
So
he'll be a senior next year?
Yeah, he'll be a senior. So hopefully, he has a good off-season spring. I'll be able to go back home, work with him a little bit more, just kind of share my knowledge. He's really good, way more just naturally talented than I was. It's just all about, does he want to go out and get it? And I think he does. He's just as I went back home, he's just as tall as me. He was a little bigger than me when I was in high school. So he got all the intangibles. The kid catch like no other. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do, in terms of football.
So how much did your father have an influence on you? I was talking to him a little bit today. He said you were a quarterback.
Oh yeah,
I'm picturing that. Must be interesting.
I try to tell Coach Jasper to throw me in a quarterback. I don't know why he didn't want me. I think quarterbacks have to be like under 6 foot in this offense.
In this offense.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. But my dad played a huge role, and just being, a father, not a coach all the time. He really preached be a good person, and it'll translate over to football. He didn't say go run routes. He said work hard. He never forced me to do anything, and he really took the fact that I love make my family proud. I love competing, and he was really equally as hard as me on every sport I played. Where it came to basketball, came to track, came to football, and he was great. And I always talk about my dad, but my mom was a great role. I'm a guy, so I don't really like to complain to my dad too much, but my mom was always that backbone and being like, hey, son, like, don't get discouraged. Like, it happens. You're there for a reason. God put you in the reason. Just go out and play your game. And, she was a great influence. My grandparents, being there at all games they can be into. And, my dad was a big part, but my whole family was the bigger part that made me into this person who I am.
What about here? Coach Yukatas, 4 years you've been under him. He was a real nuts and bolts, dirty, gritty guy. He wasn't catching the kind of passes you caught. He probably blocked as much. He caught two passes.
Two passes. He caught a touchdown but failed. So, yeah. But I really like Coach O. Like, I don't think I would be the player I was if it wasn't Coach O. Like, I can't say that Coach O is with me, like, saying, oh, you need to cut your route like this. You need a sting route like this, because at the end of the day, like, that's not what I loved him as a coach for. It was the fact that, like, hey guys, let's take 10 minutes in this meeting, let's talk about life, let's talk about being a good father. He's bringing his children around, he's bringing his wife around, seeing a coach that's a good person and really cares about you, brings everybody individually, just saying, like, hey guys, like, you okay, like, what's going on, like, how you doing, how your grades are, somebody actually puts themselves into you, just not all, why didn't you run this route, why you missed this block, because at the end of the day, it's not hard to do X's and O's, it's hard being a good person, it's not hard to be a good person, it's hard being a good coach that dedicates themselves to the players. Coaches come and go, but their impressions last for a long time. I've been lucky to have great coaches, and when the coach dedicates them that much energy into you, you just want to give as much energy, to them. And he let me be the player I was. I'm not a very like military robot kind of player. I'm a very passionate player. I'm yelling, I'm like getting frustrated, and he let me be that, but controlled it, and like he never like really yelled at me because this didn't work. He's like, hey Tillman, like, come on, let's go, like, keep your head in it. And when it came to that point, so I really like Coach Yo. I like the man he helped me become.
What do you think about playing this All-Star game you've been selected for?
I'm excited. I'm excited to go, but at the end of the day, I gotta get this win for the bowl game. I tried to put that on the back burner. Like, I didn't really tell anybody I got invited because I just wanted to focus on my team. And, I'm excited to play with that, but I'm more excited to play this game right now. Last time with my brothers, this is the last practice. And, it's got a little tear in my eye, singing happy birthday for the last time with these guys, put a really dramatic post on Instagram. This is the moments I remember more than any All-Star game. I dedicated 4 years to this. My teammates dedicated 4 years to me. And at the end of the day, you can go to the league, you do all these things, but at the end of the day, when you ask any professional, any person that played football, what their best time was, it's probably going to be high school and it's going to be college. So I just really, really, am kind of overjoyed, a lot of emotions flowing through. This is the last practice to go.
All season you've been on fields with great receivers, and it's going to be again this week. The two of these guys were Bolitnikoff finalists, Henderson and Trent Taylor. You played Zay Jones, who was the runner-up, Kayvon Lucas from Tulsa. There's a lot of great receivers that you've gone against. Do you ever kind of want to say, hey, there's another good receiver on this other team too?
I use it like, again, I'm an emotional player, so I use it as a motivation. Everybody's like, oh, this receiver's doing this. I don't have the numbers, but I know I'm just as good in my mind. And when they're on offense, like, I'm little separated from the pack. I'm watching what he's doing. Okay, I'm doing it. And just an example, they had Zay Jones. They put the banner out. I just I took it personally. Like, nothing against him. I'm glad he did that. But in that football mode as a competitor, I'm like, wow, this dude's like.
You had two big catches right after that, didn't you?
Yeah. So you got this banner. Like, I could do. This how much like I could do this. Like, I'm just as good. Like, so I just use that as motivation. And, but I do enjoy, like, being able to play those guys because, again, I'm in a system that's not, the typical. So I can go and watch the film and say, okay, this is how he ran his route. They're throwing the ball. He's running more typical routes. Like, okay, he's a good receiver. Let me watch him. And, it's been really good to be able to have that film on those guys and, kind of model my game off of what they do and, bridge that learning curve a little bit before I go to this All-Star game.
Last but not least, we know the Navy makes these decisions, but if given a chance to play in the NFL, do you think you could?
Oh, yeah, definitely. When I put my mind to something, then I work my butt off and try to get it. That's the mindset I had since elementary school, and that's the mindset I have. And I'm going to keep going until they tell me, no, you can't go no more, or stop, or my body doesn't give, my body gives out. So I'm going to enjoy the process, enjoy what it comes, because at the end of the day, you never know when it's the last time. So.
Keenan Reynolds is an NFL wide receiver. You think you're a better wide receiver than Keenan Reynolds?
Who's Keenan Reynolds? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, Keenan's like.
Did he ever run routes at a Navy practice? No.
He actually, when we did our little quarterback throw, he ran.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No, but speaking of Keenan, like everybody does that little sound bit about where I was like, who's Keenan? But, like, Keenan's been awesome. Like, he's, messaged me a couple times, like, hey, if you need anything, let me know. This is what I've learned, because he had to basically start from the bottom top. And that's, even though I've been playing receiver, I'm going to have to start from bottom top because I haven't been doing the same similar thing. So he's been a great help. And, he just encouraged me to say, like, hey, you up next. Like, you can do it. Like, I've been here. I've been through it. I know you can do it. So, when you have somebody like that and a guy that's accomplished all he has, then it's reassuring to know that,